Cumbre especial en Europa alrededor de la defensa, de cómo reaccionar también a ese posicionamiento alrededor de la OTAN y de la necesidad de unos presupuestos más elevados que va diciendo Rutte. Kaja Kallas hace un primer speech importante alrededor de cómo tiene que caminar esa ayuda, ese gasto en defensa para poder protegerse Europa. El turno de preguntas nos hemos quedado sin verlo. Vamos a ello para ver cómo ha contestado a las distintas preguntas la máxima mandataria de Relaciones Exteriores Europeas.
And you've already alluded to, working with other partners. We also have the communication on foreign economic policy coming up and the clean industrial deal. So how can we protect and harness the global multilateral order, including the WTO, and engage with like-minded and all partners, as you just mentioned, to ensure European competitiveness and also shared prosperity for all who want to work with us? Thank you.
Thank you. This is a very good question. I think what we see also in the global sphere, what we see the signals from the United States withdrawing from multilateral organizations and giving signals that they only look into America itself. I think it gives us an opportunity to play this role because we see that everybody is looking at us, really. And what I meant in my speech as well is that we need to really put this in practice in the cooperation we have with third countries as well. We have our interests, we have our values, and we should stick to it. Not filling the void immediately, but really sticking to the principles that we have. And I see there's really opportunity to grow our geopolitical role as European Union because we are the predictable partner, we are the reliable partner, but we are often taken for granted, and we shouldn't. I mean, with the global partners that we have, I think it's also much more dignified to have negotiations that are on the par with our interests. I mean, we also need something from those global partners, and we are offering something in return. So I think there's really an opportunity that we need to use here.
Thank you. And I have a second question from Rosario Bento Pais from Luanda, Angola. There she is.
Thank you very much, HRVP, for your hints this morning. I'm picking up on what you have mentioned about the geopolitical rivalries. In particular, you have mentioned exactly that US are our friends and partners, China a competitor. But how can exactly the EU jungle in between these geopolitical rivalries and maintaining its interests and being really a global actor and making these values as you have mentioned really at the top and being able to, in fact, continue to have all these interests in this geopolitical world? Thank you.
Well, I think that this is exactly the opportunity how we should do this and keep our values and interests in mind using this situation. We are in area of geopolitical rivalries, that is very, very sure. But as I said, I mean, the countries around the world are not aligning themselves by saying that, we are the allies of European Union or we are the allies of China or Russia. They are aligning themselves according to their interests and values. And this is what I mean by these comprehensive partnerships that we should have, really tailor-made for each country, understanding what are their fears, what are their worries, but also really sticking to who we are and what we represent, what are our values and interests as well, to have these comprehensive partnerships, not giving everything for granted. Because the one thing that I see, and many of you know, I mean, this accusation that, double standards, but actually it is that the world doesn't really know, for example, regarding the Middle East, that we are the biggest supporter of Gaza. We are the biggest supporter of UNRWA, for example, providing the services to the Palestinians. So I think we need to put the European flag up more to really communicate, but show that we are the ones, and also in the partnerships that we have with third countries to represent what are our interests, that we don't give anything just for granted, but we also want to see the respect for the interests that we have, and we have. And I think there we can also grow our geopolitical power.
Thanks a lot. And then the final question, I'm looking for Roland. Oh, there he is, all the way from Madagascar, Antananarivo.
Good morning, High Representative, Vice President. And as this is our first joint meeting all together, let us, welcome you very warmly to Brussels. So a little question on security. You've already touched upon it, of course. It's on Ukraine. We sadly get to another anniversary of the Russian aggression on Ukraine. And I wanted to ask you, this conflict has upset Europe's security, but also more globally, the prosperity and the stability of the world. It has also threatened, not only Europe, but all the regions of this planet. So how can Europe, we ourselves, you, ensure to work with others towards a lasting solution that would actually restore peace and security order in Europe, but also more widely, and you also touched upon it, take initiatives for the wider region, the Middle East, Gaza, Syria, and so on, to restore hope and better lives. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. I think when we talk about Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, it is going against all the principles of UN Charter, really. So one country attacks another and tries to take it by force. Therefore, we really need to put the pressure on the one who started this war, which is Russia, because they can also end this war. And it has global complications, I mean, the whole war, because it's a so big one. And also the outcome of this war has also global implications. And that means that whether the United Nations Charter is respected or not. Because if Russia takes what he wants, then all the aggressors around the world, or would-be aggressors around the world, are carefully taking notes. Okay, aggression pays off, so I might also go for my neighbor's territories, because then we end up in the world where might makes right, and actually for a majority of the countries in the world, this is a big threat. Like it was Paul Henry Spaak who said that there are only small countries in the world, and the countries who haven't realized that they are small countries yet. So I mean, UN Charter is really the tool to protect small countries in the world, which there are many. And that's why it is important that we really together put the pressure on Russia, and Russia can't achieve its goals because it's dangerous for everybody. I think the messages that we get from the United States regarding this recently, I think they're good, putting the pressure on Russia to end this war. And we need to do more in this regard, because it is also, regarding China, for example, if United States is not getting Russia right, they are not getting China right either. This is all very much interconnected. If we see Iran, North Korea, Russia working very closely together, this is what we are up to. And if you talk with the countries around the world, then they see the same threats everywhere. So it is really existential for the multilateral rules-based order to function. but there's a lot to do, of course, and we need to do this together. We need to explain this to the countries that see this picture differently, because they are buying into Russian narratives. Russia is very good at this, and we really need to show what is at stake here, really. And of course, why I'm talking about also growing our geopolitical power is that if we see, and we have had now several meetings with the foreign ministers, but also the commissioners, if we see the whole map of the world, and we took and really mapped the countries where we had high-level visits of either presidents of European Commission, European Council, the High Representative, foreign ministers, prime ministers, presidents of European countries, then we see that we have a lot of loopholes. Whereas we compare this to Russia or China or even when it comes to Africa, to Turkey, then they are going and you know, speaking to all the countries in Africa every single year, having really high-level visits. So we are 27. I mean, 27 commissioners. We are also 27 prime ministers, presidents, foreign ministers. How can we not cover the whole of the world? And so we have mapped this, and I'm glad to say that also the commissioners as well as the foreign ministers are very much willing to really cover the world to grow our geopolitical influence, because it's not only you know, what we bring, but it's also the attention that we give to these countries. I mean, one prime minister of country from Asia told me that, you know, we have a lot of attention for you, but you never have attention for us. I mean, and this is a small thing we can give because we have 27, the leverage that we really want to use. And there it is also important that we explain this, what is going on and how we see and our interests and values all across the world. So I really believe that we can do this.
Thank you very much. Thank you, colleagues. So you will have ample opportunity to talk to the High Representative later in the week. I'll be around interacting with a lot of you, and then we have a wrap-up session on Friday where I will take all your feedback, the good and the bad. But so, you know, I hope you stay tuned for all the changes, as Eva said, and enjoy the beautiful weather. That is not always the case, but we put it up especially for you. Have a great week. Enjoying
the nice weather by being in this really dark room inside. But yes, I'm looking forward to this.
Bueno, pues Kaja Kallas, en lo que va a ser sin lugar a dudas una jornada intensa. Hemos terminado en este punto lo que ha sido esa declaración de esta mañana en la que ha señalado cómo Estados Unidos, Donald Trump, está dando señales de que mira a la Unión Europea, al tiempo que ha señalado que es importante saber quiénes son los aliados y tratar de ejercer influencia. Con todo lo que acaba de denunciar, lo acaba de decir en estos últimos momentos, como de alguna manera somos 27 Estados miembros de la Unión Europea y debería abarcar más el radio de influencia. Con todo ha señalado cómo los países se alinean según sus intereses y es ese escenario en el que de nuevo ha vuelto a subrayar la importancia de que los socios europeos trabajen en la dirección clara, teniendo claro que tenemos muchos socios importantes, que Estados Unidos es el más importante, que no hay que repetir con China los errores que se cometieron al establecer esos lazos de dependencia con Rusia, subrayando también esa intervención. Hoy es día de reunión de ese Consejo Europeo para hablar de seguridad, para hablar de Ucrania, cómo tienen que conseguir que el Kremlin, que Putin cambie sus objetivos y buscar la solución y la salida al conflicto. Es, sin lugar a dudas, el tiempo, las declaraciones que vamos a seguir a lo largo del día de hoy, en una jornada que, por supuesto, con permiso de la geopolítica, lo decíamos, Kaja Kallas hoy asiste a ese Consejo Europeo donde hoy va a hablar de seguridad y defensa mañana ya, los líderes europeos hablarán de economía. Y mientras tanto, el golpe arancelario de Donald Trump, con ese 25% a los aranceles en las importaciones de sus socios comerciales de México y Canadá, el 10% a China, están golpeando el mundo con un sector automovilístico que está desplomándose en la jornada de hoy y con unos índices en Europa que hoy caen importante y los futuros de Wall Street anticipan más caídas. Hacemos una pequeña pausa y enseguida volvemos.